Hello everyone, welcome back to the lab, and also welcome to a new video about a new deck profile. However, this time, this is not about my deck profile. It's one of my best buddy, Tony from United Kingdom. He, in the past weekend, piloted Maliss into the UK Nationals, and very unfortunately lost in the finals. However, he still achieved pretty good results in as a second place. And in case you don't know, Tony was actually the Maliss player in Weiss's Birmingham a few months ago, who lost to Dinka Boys Fire King in the finals of Weiss's Birmingham. So yeah, he's pretty good at Maliss, and then we have him again in finals, now this time with another Maliss deck profile. So let me pass my mic to Tony and have him introduce himself, and then we start the deck profile.
Hello everyone, this is Tony here, and unfortunately, I got into finals again, but lost again somehow. Last time I was playing against Dinkabu in the Birmingham finals, I was kind of nervous as hell, and I misplayed definitely a lot in game 3. But you know, that's how it happens when you just get too nervous or excited, especially in the game 3 on the feature match in the finals. This time I didn't misplay much, but my opponent opened up a god hand, or say custom hand, in game 3. He just picked the cards out of his deck, so I lose. But there's not much I can say about this. Cormac is a good player, and I beat him in the top 32 matchup last time, and he revenged me on this time. But I will for sure come back sometime later. And let's get into the deck profile. So start with the common part, the engine. Yeah, the Maliss card and Ignister engine. I say Dormouse Rabbit standard. Just you have to play 2. I want to play more, but the Forbidden list doesn't allow you to play more. And 3 chassis, 3 Much Hair, and 3 backup. I see people cutting on numbers on this, but Maliss on the series is a combination deck, where it's like you open up multiple different engines and you can play through multiple hand traps. So I think in order to max out the chance you see a good combination, or at least a combination of good Maliss names, you have to max out the numbers of backup, Much Hair, and chassis at the same time. Especially when the time you didn't open up Ash or draw against your opponent's, say, Fua or Prulia. Chassis draw is a really good compromise to the end board. Whereas like you trade in your board value into the cards in your hand, hoping to draw some 9 engine to stand them on their turn. And for the 9 engines, I choose quite standard. So 3 Ash, 3 Fuas, 3 Jaws, 3 Impers, 3 Impulse, and 3 Bestials. Originally, we were playing Prulia in the main, as this deck is inspired by Shinping's remote slide deck regional deck in the beginning. And I moved Prulia to the main and decided to play more Bestials, because I'm expecting in the European national environment, there will be more people playing deck that are based towards Finsmith or pure Mitsu rather than Mitsurizio. And my matchup most of them were pure Mitsu or just Finsmith related deck turns out. So I would say that's a definitely correct move to main deck 3 Bestial, side deck 2, and move the Prulia to the side. And to allure, Terraforming, Ghost Dark, and Call By, which is kind of standard. Or probably not as standard, as I don't see a lot of people playing Allure, but I think Maliss, even if you max out all the names, is the deck has consistency issues sometimes. And Allure just help you resolve the problem, and Allure is a great card to answer to Prulia or Follows in the same time as well. And I don't really play 3 because like I'm already playing a 41 card main deck. Once you're in the early ages where like if you're playing 42, say if I play one more Allure, when you scoop without revealing your deck information on the game 1, your opponent will thinking you are playing Mitsurugi Rezo, so they won't set in Lancia on game 2, which give you a higher win rate to play in game 3. But I think in a national format where the environment are quite diverse, like people will probably not really dare to say, even if they know you're playing 40-41, they're probably not setting Lancia when you just scoop blindly. And allure sometimes help you beat the opponent going first in the games where people will hoping that the Lancia will trade into something like a field spell or Dormouse. So they won't drop Lancia in the beginning in draw phase, standby phase. So you can just allure punish them to draw into some cards which will cost them the game. And this actually happens in the top 8 game where I was playing 7 key. He didn't drop Lancia in draw phase, and I allure into something that cost him the game in the end. And let's move to the extra deck. I think certain of them are pretty standard, apart from, say, the Bomber and the Armor Rush, which I kind of like almost never summoned throughout the entire tournament. I see people cutting Hager Lizard those sometimes, but you just don't want to hard lose to Bell when you open up Dormouse. Like just Dormouse Rabbit into Whaler, into Splash, when you just open up normal summon Dormouse, you're just so dumb. You are not supposed to lose to a single Bell in this scenario, so that's why you are supposed to play this deal. I feel for Armirage it's fine to cut it for a cold talker, because apparently like in some of the matches you want to protect your back rows when your opponent really doesn't have any interruptions on your turn. But that sadly never happened for my cases, whereas like most time I interact with my opponent, they drop 2 hand traps and I was forced to end on the end board, which kind of like say have to use my wicked to make Firewall or just to make other Maliss Link 3s in the end. So Firewall plus Cryptor was the most unbar I make throughout the tournament. And I didn't even manage to make the Wicked plus Bomber even once, but I think you still need a Bomber as it's a all to kills Hunter. And it's a okay or good enough unboard, plus it can help you get into some burn damage in some certain situations. Moving forward to the set deck, as we are moving the Prulia to the set deck now, we don't have a space for Meow, so we decided say we will play Metatronus instead of XYZ Incore just to cover more some mirror matches. Unfortunately, I didn't play against any mirrors, so it never come up in the mirror, but in Zero it's pretty good going first. You can set out just Imper with Metatronus. Another reason that we didn't play Incore is that I feel like the situation where you just Incore their Castell to play around Happy Fighter Storm doesn't happen that many recently. And I didn't play into a single person who play Happy Fighter Storm in this tournament, so I was glad it never come up. And Metatronus doesn't just give you as much pressure when you just Incore their detonator, give them infinite follow up, and which kind of like force you to kill them on their on the second turn, and otherwise you're being pushed back. And a lot of the Misresil decks are now just they end up the Gallant, which is search the Nib, which makes you harder to kill them after you Incore them. More Bestials for the Finsmith or Miss-relevant matchup. I find setting them in all the time because I play against a lot of momentum and Finsmith deck and pure Miss as well. I didn't really play Nib because I think Nib is not really good in this format. When every deck in the format, they can still end up on a decent amount of interruptions after you Nib them. So I feel like just Nib is only relevant really in the mirror, and I already have Metatronus. And yeah, so I didn't play Nib in the end. And I never missed Nib, so which is good. 3 Lancia standard. 2 Mistaken Arrest and 1 GWC06. I won't say that if you play 2 trap or even 3 trap in the bin, it's wrong, but it more reflects a different play style, which I'm into. My friend plays 3 trap in the min. He told me that like he just want to have the strongest engine going first, which I can agree. But I know I will lose majority of the dice rolls, so whenever I go in second, seeing the trap is just a break. And a lot of times, like you win through a lot of the interruptions through your opponent, so the life points were actually not that relevant in the end to help you secure the game. Although you have to be careful sometimes. You don't want to say like use all the names and find you only have like around 1,500 life points in your opponent's turn, which is like something just into your VK could be lethal. So you have to be careful to just calculate your life points. and I feel pretty okay just with only one trap in the main, and sometimes even going seconds. I feel like this will be a long and grand match. I'll probably just say, yeah, I'll bring GWC or 6 back. But most times it's only MTB 07 going second in my main deck. So with that being said, that should be the end of the deck profile. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the deck profile. So finally, any shoutouts?
So first shout out to Junda, who is a Germany player, and he helped me play test my build a lot, and he told me to play Metatronus and Mistaken Arrest before the match actually started, and they worked pretty well in some of the matchups, especially in the top 4 in the top card. I just flipped a Mistaken Arrest and my opponent's group. So, and shout out to all the my UK friends who accompany me. We have a wonderful journey in Liverpool in last weekends. And shout out to Shenping once more in the end, who gave me the prototype of this deck and give me confidence to play Maliss again in the Nationals when I don't know what actually to play for this event. And yeah, that should probably be it. Thanks.
Thank you. So, wonderful deck profile. And then if you have any comments, suggestion, feedback, feel free to comment down below in the comment section and let me know, let Tony know. And then I will hope to see everyone in the next video. Goodbye.